first thing I want to say is I know I'm in my pajamas, okay? That's one of the benefits of being able to walk downstairs into the training room is I get to keep my sweatpants on, I get to be comfortable when I train with these dogs. So, affection, okay? I don't know, this applies to all dogs, not just a working dog, but more so a working dog. There's a concept out there that these working dogs, when they're wearing their vest, you shouldn't be touching them. You shouldn't be baby talking them. I think it's a law, isn't it? In some places, you might get in trouble for that because these dogs are working. So the general public is supposed to leave your dog alone. Anybody with a dog and anybody with a service dog knows for a fact that sounds great, but it doesn't happen. It's not reality. People do baby talk your dog, even if it's a shepherd with a working vest, and they will try to pet them. It's just gonna happen. So what we do here, which probably is a little bit different, is we actually get friendly with the dog like we're an excited stranger trying to approach them. We even overreact it. We get the stereotypical crazy dog person coming from a mile away saying, "Oh my God, is that a shepherd?" We're gonna lay that on him. And we're gonna teach him that even if somebody's talking to you in this high-pitched fashion, or even if somebody's coming to reach and pet on you, and hey, maybe they do get to him, maybe they make the mistake, you make the mistake and you're not looking, and you look over and they're petting your dog. It's happened to all of us, okay? Just ask anybody who has a service dog how much of a struggle it is that when the dog's doing great, and then all of a sudden it's distracted by somebody enticing it, okay? But if you see the really good dogs, they don't fall for your game. First time I ever seen this was at an airport. I seen a dog who was a service dog who was leading somebody who was physically injured. So this dog was really in front, leading. You could not shake this dog. They went through food courts. And I mean, I was so impressed because I watched them in line waiting to order their food, and I watched a little kid wave a French fry in front of his face, and this dog didn't flinch. I'm like, that's awesome that's possible. I don't know if we can provide that level, but what I can say is with him, we're going to teach him to take affection calmly. That's what we're going to do. We're going to try to get as close to keeping him in this calm place as possible, even with the crazy person who wants to pet him in his face. That separates us from some other places because a lot of people they say, well, you're just not allowed to baby talk the dog and you're not allowed to pet the dog. That is great. Like I said, it's not reality. So he has to learn how to deal with it. So here we go. Same thing as the other distractions. When I'm using the ball, when I have the door open, when I'm using the squeaky toys, whenever he leaves the calm state of mind, for us, pick the head up. We're going to use the double down to make it really easy. If you have trouble reading a dog's body language and seeing that arousal state, shift, then you use the double down as a meter. As soon as the chin starts to come up, we know that he's starting to tune in, right? So I'm going to go down. I'm going to present some affection. I'm going to start calmly, right? Teach him how to take the calm affection, and then I'm going to slowly amp up my affection to crazy stranger wanting to pet your dog. And the theory is he stays like this, which is really calm, okay? Or at least if he starts to get aroused, one click on the e-collar brings him back to this. That's really all we're looking for, okay? Okay, so I'm going to come down and pet him. So far, so good. That's my boy. Like I said, this is easy. Now what you're seeing here is a product of our work, though, because he wouldn't have taken this affection this calmly when I first met him. This is from the reprogramming we've done with these little exercises here that I showed you in the last video. Okay? So this is all fine for me. He's enjoying it. Good boy. I know I'm not really, usually when I'm giving them affection, I'm a little bit more connecting with them. It's a good boy. And then I just wanted to see what his choice is. It's very good. Now he put himself on his side. That's cool because we've been talking. We've been working out here for like 30 minutes. So your dog's allowed to get comfortable, in my opinion. They just can't break the rules. Good. Good boy. Okay, so he can take calm affection pretty well. That's pretty good. Now what we were looking to correct, which he didn't do, I wasn't sure if he was going to or not. I go over to start petting him. I say, hey, bud. And he automatically flips from off his hips onto this, or up into a sit, or pushes into, or even for us, lifts their head up to try to initiate. I really want to teach him to just let me pet you without you really moving too much. I know it sounds weird, but watch what it produces over time. Hey, how are you? Hi. What you doing? Is a good boy? Good boy, right? Now, the first time you do this with your dog, it's not gonna look like this. Okay, your dog's gonna make the mistake, and then you shift your tone in that moment. No, sorry, good boy. Shift your tone down from the playful to marking it with a low no. Give the correction, put them back into their down or whatever they were doing, and then go back to it. You want to give your dog a successful rep after that if you can. So you keep going until your dog's successful, and then you'll get that rep where they don't get up, and then you say, good boy, and you go over. You can even release them, or you can just come over and give some calm affection for a reward, okay? And that will, like I said, over and over and over again, you do these things, that's what we do. It really changes the way a dog views the world. Certain dogs view this type of talk because they were programmed to see it as the world's greatest thing ever. So we're reprogramming that. We're taking it and changing the way he feels about it, okay? So there's a click there, okay? Just because it wasn't a quick enough settle for a service dog especially, okay? Where we're looking for him to shift, sneeze, itch, whatever they need to do, and then kind of get right back into it. If I feel like he's kind of up scanning the room, boom, right? It's a reminder. Again, I'm on that 3. If you guys can see that, I'll try to turn it so the light's on it. The 3 is good because, like I said in previous videos, we're looking to go as low as possible. So this is something that he feels, but barely. It's like a very quiet little sensation. And I like that because he's really listening for us. He's really paying attention, so he just barely feels us go like this, and he listens. Now, the reason why we have this is because the way that we train is as they start to lose attention and as they start to get more aroused, the e-collar pressure has to go up in order for them to tune in. So they learn to keep our conversation mild and relaxed and easygoing, just pay attention. If you start going crazy and getting aroused and trying to get out of it and jump on me and span and bite the leash and all this stuff, then the numbers get higher. And then you relax, and then we go back to just talking, right? And that's the conversation. So that it actually teaches the mind while we're in work mode, just listen to me. Just relax and listen to me. When we're done with this, we'll play. But right now we're in work mode. And it really teaches respect around what we lay as our foundation. So there's a correction there, okay? Simply because he's not ready for that yet. Like I said, I think I said this in one of the videos, either this one or the last one. Once he's completely trained and he's very reliable, we're not going to micromanage him. As soon as he's taking in information calmly, and he's doing it well, and he's making good choices, and he's impressing us consistently, we're not going to micromanage him because now he's an adult. Now he can have some more freedom, but he has to earn that. Okay, and until he's ready, we're going to micromanage him. Okay, so again, I'm going to up the affection. Hi, buddy. Hey, how you doing? Wow, is this your dog? Is this a German Shepherd? Wow, and I'm tapping right there. Good boy. Wow, he's just so well behaved. He's just, oh my goodness. I cannot believe it. This is a little harder for him. This is good. Yes, that's good. That's good. Now, if you're going to do this at home, if you can get help and have somebody be the antagonizer, somebody be the stranger, and you be there to lead your dog is the best way. You're going to be the one to say, no, good boy. Talk to him like that while this crazy person is being crazy. And then, so what I'm going to do is ask the camera lady to come and help so I can give him a proper experience.
Hi! Oh, the baby boy! Hi, 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 hi. Can I pet? Can I pet? Can I pet?
Right there's good for now. So we didn't even have her touch him because it's a new stimulus. So I went from my 3 to my 5, guys, and I'm probably going to go back down to the 3 now because it's working. The 3 absolutely did not. That's when you know you have to go up. It didn't even, he didn't hear it at all.
Hi, hi, hi!
Good boy. Another distraction, unexpected, but welcome.
Oh, welcome.
So numbers have to go up again. I'm at a 6 now. You guys can see that I'm at a 6 now. And that's just barely doing the trick. 5 ended up being the real here. Yeah. So this is a very good exercise for him. So we used Julie, which was pretty effective, but you have more relationship with him. So I'm actually, as the handler right now, asking him to ignore Gabby because he gets very excited around her as of right now because she's familiar and he spent the most time with her. See, that's a click. Every time you see him put his head back down, I click. I'm at a 4 on the e-collar right now. This is how these sessions go. It's a lot of, see that click right there on the e-collar? Hear the whining? This is because he's starting to pout because he wants to go over to Gabby. So now he's feeling bad for himself. He's not feeling bad for Gabby. He wants to get over there. What it really is frustration, guys.
But I wanna.
Yes. Now what happens here is we call that complaining. So he gets corrected for that. So the numbers are a little higher while he's whining. When the whining goes away, so I go into higher numbers. And when I say a little higher, I'm on an 8. So for the whines there. Because he's sensitive. So it's not always about the number. Your dog might be up in the 20s right now. Who knows? You got to base it off their behavior. Right there is an 8. If he chooses to do better, I will go down my numbers. Good. And I'm going down my numbers. I'm going to go down to a 3 now. Because this is a good choice. So all I'm doing is regulating the consequence for his behavior. That's all I'm doing right now. We've taught him the system and I'm operating it, okay? I disconnect it. I just don't want, he understands the conversation so well that if his head's down and he's looking at her, if I click on this, he turns away from her. He understands that I'm not only saying relax and double down, I'm saying no to Gabby. Or I'm saying no to the ball. Or I'm saying no to the dog. No. That was my 8 for whining. I might try a little higher if I have to ask again, because that's the rules. No, that's a 12. That seemed to do the trick. So now I'm going down. I'm going down to a 3, because look how relaxed he is. That's our talking level, remember? Now he's relaxed. Now we can have a regular conversation. Now we can talk.
That is some serious finesse with those numbers.
Yeah. That's the kind of finesse you're going to need if you want to have a very detailed conversation. If you can't just be that guy that grabs one of these, turns it up, and goes wham, your dog screams, and then you call it trained. We want a real conversation. We're talking to him. We're putting him through rehab right now, so he understands what I'm saying to him. That's why this is working. If he didn't, he'd be panicking. That's it. And so it really does work. It really does work, but it takes time. Okay. This is, all right, let's talk about this real quick because it can look like a sad situation because say that's somebody that he really enjoys spending time with and she comes in and now he's whining because he wants to go over to her and I'm correcting. That's not the conversation I'm having. That's the surface level. I'm having the root problem conversation, which is dog's on the bed. Owner said, go on the bed and ignore everything. Something that the dog wants entered the room. Now the dog's complaining about wanting to go over to that thing. It could be food, it could be a dog, it could be a toy, it could be a human. And this transfers to on the walk. Now the dog's whining because it wants to go over to see that dog. Well, it's impulse. It's the leader saying, or the owner saying no to something, and the dog accepting that and respecting that. That's the conversation we're having. That's it. That's why we gain respect by doing these little exercises, because we're talking about the core problem of every single dog that comes in here, which is they see something they want to do, and they go and do it. You can't stop them. And if you try to stop them, they might try to bite you or have a fight or have a fuss. That's the conversation we're having. So if we have to use somebody that he really enjoys to come in and get that conversation to come out, then we'll do that because that's the real world. The conversation is you were told to relax on this bed and now you're throwing a fit because something that came into the room that you want and you're not allowed to have it. We want to mature this dog while he's here, okay? We want him to act like an adult, and he will. We have to raise him properly, and we have to do it in a shorter period of time. We only have weeks versus months to years, okay?